What's up, YouTube? What's up, Xtreme Gainz family? I'm Chuck. This is Xtreme Gainz. I am not a financial advisor. Nothing I say is or ever will be financial advice. Please do not take it as such. Today is Thursday, May 12th, 2022, and this is the AMC, GME, and SPY Algo Exposed daily update and preparation video for tomorrow, TGIFF and beyond. As always, I hope you are able to take advantage of this market and the volatility today. I can't speak, I'm tired. And make some money in the market like always. I know a lot of you did because we came out and did a live stream out here with y'all, and it was awesome to be a part of. Congrats to everybody. I'm going to go over all the regulars that I always go over, but I'm going to be really brief because this is like the fourth take. I just tried to upload a video and YouTube is failing to upload it. I've tried 2 times to get it to upload, so I'm redoing it again here, and I'm going to be really brief and try to shorten the time down. But I'm going to go over some things, so stick with me. I'm going to go over all the regulars, my snake algos for AMC, GME, and SPY, as well as some macro comparatives. So, with that said, let's dig in. On your screen is AMC on my left, SPY on my right, on your left, and on your right as well. And these are my micro intraday snake algos on today's 5-minute price action with its projection and fulfillment of them today. Real quick, let's take a look at those. Here's SPYs. This was placed on here. I got them on first thing this morning. Like I said, even prior to coming out to the live stream, I was getting them placed, and then I came out and finished that off, got them on here, and we got to sit here and watch them fulfill in their entirety today. SPY had 2 diversions within it today from the Algos switching back and forth. I was able to see those coming ahead of time and get the inverted mirroring diversions of those plotted and mapped out prior to price action hitting them. And then we got to watch those fulfill. So there were 3 throughout the day here, and this is the entire projection and fulfillment from the micro intraday on SPY. AMC, its micro intraday is here, and again, same thing. I got it on here as soon as I come out and went on the live stream here with you all and got to watch it fulfill its projection in its entirety throughout today. Both of them literally almost candle for candle. AMC only had 1 inverted mirroring diversion at the end of the day here. Again, I saw it coming and had that on there prior to price action fulfilling. We had a lot of new people and a lot of even older people that haven't been here for a while stop into the live stream today for obvious reasons. With the movement in the market, I'm glad they did. It was a good day to be here. We got to watch this, and it's pretty freaking awesome to watch these things fulfill. AMC finished the day up 8% in regular trading hours. In after hours, it's up an additional 2.37% at $11.47. The 11.53 in after hours here is acting as resistance. AMC it had a 30+% move to the upside today. And if we look here at the intra-week snake on AMC, its projection into this morning was down here. And it had the ability to fulfill and expire simultaneously today. And that's exactly what price action did. It followed the snake down in here to the bottom. I put the support level in. Price action on the very next 1-hour candle after fulfillment and expiry took off and ran up 30-something%. Intraday low here of $9.72. Intraday high of $13.72. The macro descending third from the previous macro box top acted as it should and provided resistance as it was previous support and knocked the shit out of this thing right back down to where you see it here. Now, with a diversion and or expiration, you know I always clip the day prior to and the day of diversion to look at for the first day or so to get the initial placement on, because that's just how it has to happen. So I clipped both of them here. This is the day of diversion, meaning today. And when it is put on here, like so. There is its its overlap of projection and fulfillment, and its potential projection in this placement moving forward tomorrow and beyond. Then there's the day before, the day prior to diversion, and that is this one here. And I had a couple, it's questionable as to where to potentially put this. So if I go with the peak here and I look for, I can do a couple different things with this realistically. I can put it here on the peak and look at this as a potential inverted mirroring of this happening down here, and look for potential convergence with it back out here if it were to get back out here, or run to the upside, get with it, and then reject and go downside. Or I can negate this wick altogether and just look at the body of the 1 hour candles and put it on there like so, and then you get that projection and fulfillment out of it moving forward. This one I'm not so sure about because of the way it looks. Something else I looked at is potentially overlaying it like this and giving this a inverted mirroring look of this downside move, which is the same as the other way, and it indicates that rejection and then downside, but it does bring the bottoms up for a higher low here if it were to fulfill in that manner. So like I said, not too sure about that one. Feeling a little better about this one right now out of the gate from the clip of the day of diversion, meaning today. But with some more price action and data, I'll be able to discern between the two of them and hopefully get it on there in a timely manner. So that's what I'm looking at with the intra week snakes, and I will clip the micro intraday tomorrow as always. The macro comparative for AMC always has been leading up to this point the macro double from the macro descending wedge prior to the January 2021 run up, which all of you know if you've been here for any period of time. And looking at it, I had talked to you last night about this bottom being able to potentially be placed in, and staggered and or compressed in some way, depending on what kind of price action it would show and confirm of this bottom if it were to continue to fulfill this macro comparative. So there are obviously a couple ways of looking at it. You can line the bottom straight up and down. I'm not concerned with this one wick out here. The only way I will be is only if and when price action were to breach this 1153 resistance, and then continuation to upside to confirm this wick and this movement on the upside, and then go continuation upside in some manner, which I'm about to show you what I mean here in a minute. But if it continues to consolidate in an ascending manner like the current bottom shows here, these candles here running up, whether it be I match the bottom up and then that's going to happen, or I go ahead and throw it on here like this, and we start seeing it following these candles on the way up out of here, then that wick on that candle means absolutely nothing to me in the short term, realistically at all, if it's going to continue to follow in that manner. So that's what I'm potentially looking from that macro comparative in those positions. However, I have, as an alternative bottom, talked to you all about this replicating this previous bottom over here, because I believe GME might be possibly doing the same thing, which I'm about to show you. So I brought this over here and I talked to y'all briefly about this one, and we took a look at it because it's more or less more of a single touch and go versus this W, and it's in a little unorthodox W, but it is a W playing out prior to the move up. So here is that in its position where I do believe it would belong, and what it indicates potentially moving forward. This does indicate that breach of the 1153 resistance, support, and resistance, and then you see some volatility and consolidation moving throughout in a grind up ascending manner prior to its next bullish parabolic move. This is the same as this. Let me be very clear. This, no matter what that bottom, it's just an alternative bottom. It would still, in my opinion, be a replication of sorts to the macro comparative and the initiation of that move to the upside eventually. Hopefully, fingers crossed, right? All right, so that's what I'm looking at with AMC in its entirety. GME. GME snake, I posted this on Twitter going into this morning, and shown in last night's video was projecting this V-shape bounce and then that hard upside move that we did get today. GME finished the day up 10.13%. It is currently up another 2.21% in after hours at 91.50. And GME as well was up 30-something% today. GME had, I believe, 3 halts on the way up today, whereas AMC did not have any. But once again, just like AMC, it pulled directly back down and now has started that ascending consolidation, but it did fulfill the intra-week snake on it that I had for that projection, which is wild if you think about it. The macro comparative, or I'm sorry, the intra-week snake sitting on here for the last few days and going into last night's video and this morning when I presented it was literally indicating a 30+% move to the upside. Not one person said a word to me about it. Not one sideways comment in the video. Not even one hooray comment like, wow, man, that's a giant move to the upside, and holy shit, it fulfilled today. So I did tweet that out for that reason, and there you go. So looking at this, it does appear to me like this may be an inverted mirroring happening of the projected snake in this downside manner. Let me mirror and flip it. Something like this. So what I am looking at potentially from that, if it is an inverted mirroring like that, is one of two things. Either price action to move to the upside and potentially converge back with it, or it to fulfill itself in this inverted way to the downside down here, like so, right here. Not all of this, but like this at a minimum, potentially converge back with this if it were to continue to fulfill throughout. If not, then it diverts to the upside. That's fine either, but this inverted mirroring of that movement, one of two, either for it to continue upside or invert mirror that like it looks and appears to be potentially doing down here right now after the pullback. So that's what I'm looking at from the current intra-week snake. However, if I wanted to claim this and or label this a diversion today from this snake, then I would do the same thing that I did with AMC that I've always done the day of and the day prior to diversion. So the day prior to, again, is a little unorthodox as far as its placement. Really, I mean, where do you put this? You know, do I bring it the whole way down? Do I put it in a way that it's something similar to that? And look at this as well as a potential inverted mirroring of this movement up top. Right? Something like that. A complete inversion of this downside move. Again, not feeling the best about this right now as far as getting a good placement with the overlap and projection and fulfillment of the overlap. But these are the things I am looking at, so I'm just sharing them briefly with you. However, if something like that were to be, then I would expect something potentially like this to be the upcoming projection and fulfillment, again, from this in this position. However, the day of is this one, and this one looks a tad bit better to me. Quite a bit better, actually. And looking at this one here, with the overlap. Man, I always do that. It gives the projection and fulfillment of the overlap, and then there's the potential future projection from it moving into tomorrow and beyond. Then I have a macro comparative for GME, like I talked to you about AMC's previous bottom. This is GME's previous double bottom over here. And I started seeing and noticing movements replicating where we're at right now and appearing to be something similar to this. So I wanted to grab this and start looking at it, and I did. And what do you know? Not only does this thing line up in there, but it literally projects the move to the upside today to some extent. Right there. So looking at this with that upside move, if that were the projection from it, it does look and appear like here again, inverted mirroring, here again, inverted mirroring, and price actions up here, invert mirroring this move to the downside. I would look for anything between what you see as a projection and it mirroring this movement right here, essentially where it's at prior to this move to the upside, which does appear to potentially be tomorrow after whatever it needs to do here in pre-market tomorrow morning, if it were to continue to follow this macro comparative. So that's what I'm looking at with GME in its entirety. Then last but not least, SPY. The macro comparative for SPY is the red. It's from the 08-09 correction and crash. I've talked to you about potentially compressing this in here and showing that this move or this cliff after the dead cat bounce, we would essentially be in the middle of right now. However, the current intra-week snake shows that anyway, so I've left it there for that reason and left this in the original placement that I have had this in for this entire time that I've been tracking this thing leading up to where we are currently at. So again, this has never been, the macro comparative has never been a candle for candle projection. It's always been a suggested projected path. So if price action were to continue to fulfill it in that manner, I would expect some sort of continuation to upside. And then obviously over the midterm here, I would want to see this rainbowed structure get put in to some extent with price action. But initially here, it does appear that it may need to start making its way back upside a little more than it already has, unless it's doing that from down here, which is something I may look at moving forward, dependent upon what kind of data in the form of price action it gives me moving forward. However, the current intra-week snake is the yellow, and it has been projecting and fulfilling damn near dead on for over 2 weeks now, and here it is. The projection and fulfillment of it today was dead on. I talked about the midline consolidation and volatility here throughout what appeared to be today and potentially tomorrow, and that's what we got. We started the day here with some volatility, and then we moved to the upside here, and after hours, SPY finished the day down 0.10%, and after hours, it was green 0.40%, getting a decent move to the upside, and after hours, currently trading at 393.90. So that is what I would potentially be looking for from the intra-week snake on SPY moving forward into tomorrow and beyond. And briefly, I'm not going to go into a lot of detail, but this was brought to my attention, and it's something I started looking at briefly. And if we were to not continue downside, and we were to somehow magically bounce up out of here in this crazy bull side move up out of where we're at right now, and the replication of this, which is from previous time that I'll explain to you if and when this were to give more confirmation in the form of upcoming price movement versus a downside move in any way, then we would start looking into it more. But I wanted you to see that briefly. I am prepared for that if that happens and we get a full-on diversion to the upside with the macro movements moving forward. So that's everything I have for AMC, GME, and SPY for this video. If you made it to the end of the video, thank you all very much. Do y'all's thing, like and comment on the video. Quick reminder, I will not be live first thing in the morning tomorrow. It's not planned unless something pops off to the upside and or to the downside. Like it did today, and we came out here today, but it is a planned Discord day in the morning, but we will be coming out here regardless, like we always do, at 2 p.m. from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. for the TGI FF Beer 30 weekly wind down here on the YouTube channel and on Twitch to stream the last 2 hours of the open market. So I hope to see you all then. Enjoy the rest of your night. Sorry it's late. I did the best I could, as quick as I could, and I will talk to you all tomorrow morning. Thank you all. Talk to you then. Later.